Hi, good morning class. My name is Jennifer Gallardini and I am one of the teaching assistants here in Professor Liu's Entrepreneurial Finance class. And this morning I was requested to make a video for you guys explaining blockchain technology, decentralized ledger technology, and Bitcoin, and kind of how that can help you guys in the future. So first I'm just going to do a really quick rundown on what exactly is blockchain. So it's called blockchain technology, but it's really just a more specific type of coding. So it's so that's what we mean by when we say that. And so another way to so blockchain is built on, it's called a decentralized ledger technology, and in short, some people call it DLT, which is pretty easy to remember because it sounds like BLT. And so what that is so think of a ledger like in accounting, where it's kind of just a book of ledgers. So you have credits and debits, and it's just a place to kind of store the data. And so currently, or I guess not currently, but before decentralized ledger technology, a lot of companies would store these kind of ledger data in a centralized location. So this is kind of just like a basic drawing, but so here's like the central source, and then it has just like individual data points coming out of it. And so this central source could be the company Facebook, it could be a central bank, it could be a library, it could be anything. But so the real problem with that, well, there's a couple, but I guess the most immediate problem with that is, so if you hack into this server, you have access to all of the data points, and you can change them and you can manipulate them, or you can just completely eradicate them, and there's no backup record, or hypothetically. But so so those are kind of the issues with that. And so with blockchain, so it's decentralized ledger, and so what that means is so instead of having one central source for the data, each source data point is stored on what we call a node, and that is represented by this point here. And so each data point node is connected to every other data point. So they build on top of each other. So if I have one data point and then the next data point here, see, they're connected. And then if we add the third data point, it's connected to the second and also to the first. And so each new data point we add, we do that. And so the reason we do that is to keep a backup of the data, because you can't change this data point without changing this data point and this data point and this data point. So that results in heightened security, and it also results in data transparency and integrity. So security in that we can't change the data points without changing all of the data points. So you will know when the data points have been compromised. And so data transparency, what we mean by that is kind of the same thing. You can, you have a register of every single data point that has been created. And then, and you can see who created the data point, when they created the data point. And so that information is stored on every single node. So yeah, again, you can see when someone alters it. And then, so data integrity, this this is about, so currently a big problem in big data is that a lot of the data points because there's so many of them, they get compromised in that they're missing pieces, they're duplicate records. People aren't really sure who created them, what the date is. So this keeps everything, like I said, each data point when it's created, you know when every other data point is created, and you can check that from any single data point on the record. Okay, so we just talked about how blockchain or decentralized ledger technology results in data security, transparency, and integrity. And now we're also going to talk about another major problem that blockchain technology solves, And that is connecting siloed data across organizations. So this is like currently right now, I live just outside of DC, and DC is known for having a lot of different government organizations that all share data. So as opposed to having a bunch of these centralized data points and having, so let's just say these are 3 different organizations, so they all have their data on 3 different networks. So just imagine, so I know we do this with the Hopkins network, so every time we do anything in Hopkins, we have to log on, we have to enter a password, and so then we also have different passwords for our Gmail accounts, or Proton Mail accounts, if you guys are a little more secure, and eBay and Amazon. So each network we have to log in, and then all of our data it's not connected. Well, what if I worked for the government and I wanted to have access to the data in other points? So that's what we mean by connecting siloed data. So in this scenario, we would have a specific data point node for each of these organizations. So this would be in the government. We'll just call this one agency ABC, agency DEF, agency XYZ. And so they would all have one logon, and then they would have access to all of the data. So it's a really great way of organizing large sets of data. And again, because security, integrity, and transparency. I cannot say that enough. And so what does this have to do with entrepreneurial finance? Well, it has a lot more to do with Professor Liu's blockchain class, which is a really great class if you guys are interested in taking that later. But so there's all kinds of uses why this decentralized ledger technology would be important and useful in the workplace. And so, for an example, because the data never goes away, it has obvious benefits in accounting, because then you don't have to go back and look at your bank account and try to find all of your records, because all of your records are by default here. So finance industry, that's kind of a given. And also it does really good, it just keeps a history of what you purchase. So in addition to accounting, it also would be good for investing. And then real estate, there's so many documents that go into real estate and underwriting also. And so instead of keeping all of these papers, like you have one paper here, one document here, one title here, you could keep them all on one record, which would be very helpful. Another thing that's really important that is going to segue us into Bitcoin, which is an interesting idea, is a lot of people are using this decentralized ledger technology to kind of crowdsource investments. So whether it be investing in property or investing in stocks or investing in cryptocurrencies themselves. So it's useful because you could have one title owned by all of these different nodes or companies or people. So that's something that's pretty new. And there haven't been any like big legal cases about it yet. So stay tuned. I'm sure that is coming. Okay, so those are some uses for blockchain technology. So, all right, here I guess is kind of probably where you guys are most interested. So let's talk about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin was the first decentralized ledger technology created, or that has come out by the creator named Satoshi Nakamoto, or I mean that's his pen name, his or her pen name, and I don't know. Bitcoin has some interesting stories, you guys. to research the origins of Bitcoin and read about the Silk Road case and kind of the CIA's interest in decentralized technology in the 80s. It's very interesting. But yeah, I guess so. Bitcoin was kind of the original cryptocurrency, and so when they were, instead of having data nodes, kind of, you would think of them as, so the computer would have to solve these really complicated algorithms to create a node or create a coin. So Bitcoin is like the same decentralized ledger technology, except all of these nodes are a Bitcoin. And right now, the Bitcoins are worth, they just broke $10,000 Bitcoin, which is really a milestone because they haven't hit 10,000 US dollars since in 15 months. But actually when they started, Bitcoins were like worth a penny. So now they're worth 10,000. So hopefully you guys made some money on that. And so some reasons people speculate that Bitcoin bounced back after being down were, one, the trading platform Binance rejected US investors, so that was kind of a big blow. So a lot of people, so Binance had multiple different coins on there, multiple different cryptocurrencies, so a lot of people took their money out of Binance and put it into Bitcoin, which is kind of, like I said, the first cryptocurrency, but it's kind of like the OG of cryptocurrency. Another speculation is that the company Facebook announced that they're creating a cryptocurrency called Libra, and I know Uber is also involved in that, as are some other big companies. So a lot of people are speculating that if these huge companies like Facebook and Uber, if they're creating a cryptocurrency, then there won't be any issues with government regulation on these coins, because it's not like a bunch of like small mom and pop type companies that are doing this. Facebook, I'm sure, has one of the best legal teams in the world, and so if they're going forward in the cryptocurrency, then that means that it probably is here to stay, and it's going to be something really important. And interestingly enough, as the day after Facebook announced the Libra coin, Bitcoin's price increased 13%. And some people, you can say that that's just that they're not related, but they probably are related. People probably saw this as a sign that crypto is here to go, or here to stay. Other reasons people will speculate the Bitcoin's price jumped up are simply FOMO, because the price of Bitcoin was at 9,000, which is really the last number you could get that is in 4 digits. So everyone it was like the last buy-in before it hit, it went up to 10,000. Other people speculate because companies are announcing that they're trying to do derivatives tradings on cryptocurrency, and that those might start as early as July 22nd. So everyone's kind of speculating, if we can do crypto options trading in July, then crypto's obviously here. We might as well put our money in crypto. And probably the last theory on why Bitcoin price increased a lot is that they're about to do a halving, which means the supply of Bitcoin is about to decrease by a half. So that's just kind of common sense too, supply and demand. I'm sure you guys have talked about it in economics, or you will talk about it in economics. So those are kind of the theories. And actually, if you guys look at the Bitcoin chart, it's definitely, it goes up, and then it goes down, and then it goes up, and then it goes down, and then it goes up, and then it goes down. So I feel like it's probably going to continue up. A lot of people say, judging by the charts, that it's going, well, and judging by the percent that usually bounces back after FOMO, that it's going to hit 40,000. John McAfee. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. His life story is crazy, but he has always been one of the people saying that Bitcoin's going to hit $500,000. I don't know about that either. But I think seeing the Bitcoin kind of rally and come back to where it was, I think is very indicative that cryptocurrency is here to stay. And I also think it's kind of common sense if you just kind of look around the world we live in right now. Everything is so digitized. It makes sense that our money would also be digital money. And so I just feel like in the future everything is going to be so technologically heavy that having digital coins is kind of just, I feel like where we're going. Is Bitcoin going to be the coin to invest in? I don't know. I still kind of have my doubts on Bitcoin. Just like I said, if you guys research the origin of Bitcoin, there's just some things I question about it. So I don't know if Bitcoin is the way to go. I don't know if some of the coins that started out are really the way to go. Some of coins, there's a coin called Dogecoin that has like this absolutely adorable corgi as the logo. Great marketing. Is that coin really going to be here to stay? I don't know. I put a lot of money in this coin called Digibyte that was supposed to be partnering with Microsoft to create digital games. I think it's like what it was when I put money into it. I don't know. There's a lot of interesting things happening in the cryptocurrency. I'm sure you guys all saw Venezuela. Sorry, I'm sitting on my legs. I have to sit down. I created a digital currency. That's also going to be really interesting to see. And that's kind of where I personally see the money going, as opposed to having really a decentralized ledger, just creating these blockchains out of a central bank. So it'll still be kind of the same money system that we have now, but it'll just be digital. But again, I am not a digital currency expert, and that's just kind of my opinion. So I hope this was helpful, and if you guys have any questions, let me know. I think our next video, Professor Lou, we know a lot of you guys are interested in AI, so that's kind of our next video. But so it's nice to meet you guys. I'll see you guys later. Talk to you soon. Bye.